Which food is better, Mexican or Malaysian? You cannot say like both. What would you say? How you rate them? Now Fadil is facing the most difficult question of his life. He's a Malaysian who left a high-paying corporate job to run a Mexican restaurant in Langkawi. We discussed the locals' obsession with food, the biggest differences between Malaysians and Europeans, and how foreigner can integrate well into Malaysian society. I'm Max, entrepreneur and YouTuber from Singapore. Let's go! I heard the stories that Malaysian can go different parts of the town just to try some specific food in some specific place.
Yeah.
Why is that? Why is like so big about food?
For other people from other countries, when you meet someone, even randomly, that you just met, you say, "You good? Yeah, you're right."
Yeah. And here you say, "Makan? Makan already?"
Dah makan? Yeah.
Makan
we ask them like, "Dah makan?" It's at the same time we are concerned.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's a hello at the first. Hello at the first time, dah makan. So it's a icebreaker, into the next conversation.
Yeah.
But it's more casual, it's more cheeky, it's more Malaysian way, dah makan.
Let's say if a foreigner comes to Malaysia, how to break the ice with the locals? If like this, let's say foreigner want to make friends in the local community.
You just ask them, do you know where to find a nice local food, yada 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 yada, and then you can get on from there. So always about food, you'll be safe.
Do you blend like Mexican traditions in food with Malaysian traditions in food? So is it like pure Mexican, or because you're in Malaysia and Malaysian food is so good, so you kind of tweak your Mexican like dishes and recipes?
Nah, cannot. You cannot mix Malay food with the Mexican food. No, cannot. No, it wouldn't work.
I interviewed a French chef. Like this is the interview. You can watch him here. He lives in Kiel and he does like private dinners. So he makes French cuisine. But because he said at some point he decided like to tweak it a little bit to make it like a bit more suitable to to Malaysians. Maybe a bit more spicy because French food is not spicy at all. But you don't do it like you do original.
Nah, if you want spicy, we just put on chili.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So we got the spicy. We got the flavor into it. You've got to try later on.
Which food is better, Mexican or Malaysian? And you cannot say like both. What would you say? How you rate them?
Malaysians.
What's your favorite Malaysian food, by the way?
I like nasi ayam. The Chinese versions, curry mee. Also the Chinese versions. Nasi kandar. The mamak style. Yeah, especially the one in Penang. But I found my favorite one in Pantai Remis, Taiping to Lumut, right in between, right in the middle. So that is my go-to. And also, have you ever heard this about the Javanese food, lontong? You heard of it?
Yeah.
That is also one of my favorite. And also nasi ambeng.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually a lot. Okay, if I go to the East Coast, nasi kerabu is my favorite. well, we have a lot.
And by the way, guys, don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you like this kind of videos and you want more insight about life and business in Malaysia and Singapore. So, yes. What's the biggest difference, do you think, between Malaysians and Europeans, like based on your experience? Maybe the mentality or like the mindset, attitude towards life.
Okay, let's say about German in terms of friendships. If you get to know that particular person, especially German, even for a week, it can last longer than you will ever expect it. You know them just for a week, but the communications keep getting on until no one knows. The Swiss are very discreet. You cannot say late. In Switzerland, it's a big no-no. They value their privacy so much. Even as a friend, as a family, you still need to have advance appointment.
Yeah, Malaysia is different. You can just call your buddy, like, or just come over.
Yeah, you can just come over as long as you know that person. You can just ring the bell, knock the door, hi. That's it.
I'm here.
It's easy. I mean, like, okay, you can just pop up anytime you like. We are more easygoing. We have more tolerance. We are more friendly. That I think has to do with the weather because we don't feel uptight. But in Europe, okay, they have a lot of things in mind, many things. So we know why they I like that.
Do you remember any cultural shocks that you experienced when you first arrived in Europe?
Yes, they walk 3 times faster than me. Just because I'm short. I took 3 steps, they took 1 step. During that time, what shocked me at that time was the price of groceries. Okay, without converting, yeah. I mean like 1 to 1, in a ratio 1 to 1. We earn 2,000 here, we earn 2,000 there, yeah? In the same amount. At that time, when I first arrived, when I first came in London, in here, it cost me about 50 ringgit. It cost me about 50 ringgit to fill my basket. In London that time, 15 quid, 15 pound. Yeah, for a week.
What was the biggest difference living in, let's say, London versus KL or versus Malaysia?
What I don't miss about London is the weather. The hectic, especially during rush hour, try to avoid it at any cost. And also I have this proper embracing moment. I'm skinny, under 50 kilograms. I was crossing the Millennium Bridge, crossing the Thames River. It was heavy wind. Yeah. I was like, I have to grab. No. Okay, stay put for a moment. Yeah, that was funny. Well, in here we also hectic, but in the more tolerance. We have more tolerance into it. If you are catching a meeting, half an hour late is okay. I'm not suggesting you to do it, but
but it's like socially accepted.
Yeah, socially accepted. Yeah. Just half an hour. 1 hour is too much.
Tell me how you started your own thing, like your own business. When was it, and how you decided to start your thing?
I was in private equity in the past.
Private equity.
In the M&A, merger and acquisition. At that time, I don't see any bright opportunity in the private equity, especially in KL, because if in Singapore it's different, in Hong Kong is a lot more opportunities, and in London and in Switzerland as well. But in KL it's a bit less. I decided that we gotta look to something that we can do, especially with my friends. We come up with the idea to start our own venture.
Some local Malaysians or foreigners have this dream. Okay, I work the corporate job, I save some money, and then I will open a restaurant or bar or like beach bar or cafe, some small place in an island, like let's say Langkawi or Penang or somewhere else. Like, what would you say to these people?
Do the research first. I mean, like you have to sit down to look around. Okay. The principle of doing business is, number 1 is place, number 2 is product, number 3 is price, number 4 is promotion. If you have decided to which place that you want to settle down or you want to spend for your retirement, then you can figure out what to do in that place. Because you must understand the culture, you must understand their ability to spend. You must understand the number of the age group. Of course, if you decided to open up a bar by the beach, you have certain age of group, let's say 20 to 40, and a little bit 40 to 50, and 50 to 60, unless if it's expats, they're coming back. If you are talking about local, put it until 50, then gone.
I guess like if you start a business like let's say small cafe in maybe in Langkawi, maybe you would put like 200,000 into business, and then you need maybe another 200 just in case, something like that.
Okay, if you have the size of this one, this is like what?
Smaller one.
Yeah, the smaller one. Yeah, maybe you can with the 200,000. If you are talking about
like place like yours, it's more.
It's more.
What's the main challenges for you to run a business in Malaysia, or specifically in Langkawi?
I take it between Langkawi and KL. In Langkawi, it's a completely opposite world. Let's say you want to do a project, you put on the schedule, you hire a contractor, and it got delays again and again and again. You know, at some point, they are, as a contractor, they can give you an excuse. Like I said, I asked them, why didn't you come yesterday? It was raining. This is some kind of out of common sense a little bit.
I have friends, like American friends in Singapore,
Yeah.
and they actually complain about the quality of Mexican food in Singapore.
Yeah.
Because they say like, okay, the nachos like become like soggy, and because it's like too wet and hot, and the quality, like overall, the quality of Mexican food is not there. What would you say to them?
Don't give up just yet. Yeah? Just because of one bad apple,
Yeah.
then you give up. No. What we do here is completely different. Especially my partner, he's very picky eater. On the quality of food, I leave it to him. Yeah? Because he's very picky. We don't cut corners. We still try to get items that we couldn't get on the island. Let's say chilies. We cannot cut corners on chilies because Asian chilies, especially dried chilies, and Mexican chilies taste completely different. The Asian chilies, it tastes spicy and less body, but the Mexican has full flavor, has more flavor into it, spicy and full body all around. Yeah. So whoever tried Mexican food in the past, in Mexico, let's say, or in the proper Mexican restaurant, they know the difference.
Which one is actually more spicy, Malaysian or Mexican?
Malaysian spicy is bland. It's just spicy. The spicy is the flavor. So if you cook something like a green curry, you put on chili just to make it spicy. That one is for Malay food, but for Indian food is spices and herbs, and also dried chilies, chili powder and everything, just to make it spicy and full flavor. You know, it's kind of heavy, it's kind of rich flavor. Yeah, just like a Mexican, that chili is a full flavor. If we put which one is more spicy, I think the ghost pepper is more spicy than the most spiciest chili we have. I cannot. Ghost pepper is already.
Yeah. If you like this video, check out the next one. But you have only 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.